Hi, my name is Hal Thomas. I teach singing privately here in Cincinnati, and this series is called Teaching Singing, Observation, and Practice. Today we're going to talk about your studio, the place where you teach. The physical setup for your voice studio is important because it serves as a musical home for your students. So you want it to be comfortable, but a place still conducive to learning. My studio is in my home. In fact, my home is more like a studio I live in. Of course, not everyone can have one in their home. Your studio may be a practice room, a rehearsal room or auditorium in your high school or middle school, a studio space you've rented at a music store or theater. You might even share a studio with another private teacher. If you're teaching under a graduate assistantship, that could be how you'll have to do it. I should add, there are some voice teachers who make house calls and use whatever facilities exist in the students' homes. At the risk of becoming boring, a line I've probably crossed already, let's move on and start talking about what you need in the studio. No matter the space, you need to have some basics. First, acoustics. Finding a studio with really fine acoustics is rare. You're not looking for Carnegie Hall acoustics, but you want to make sure the place you choose has a little bit more reverberation than a closet full of clothes and less than the Grand Canyon. Some items you'll need are a piano, of course, or good quality electric keyboard with touch-sensitive keys, and a pedal. A piano bench for yourself, a music stand for your students, a big wall mirror if you can manage it, close access to a bathroom and drinking water, and at least one chair. Why a chair? Well, I don't recommend letting a student sit through a lesson for a number of reasons. But suppose his student had an accident during the week and is on crutches, or has a disability that prevents him from standing for long periods of time, or at all. Make sure you have a chair. Make that two if you can. Your student may invite a friend or two to observe the lesson. And then there's parents who may wish to visit. That's the subject of another episode, but I will say this. Parents should always be allowed to observe the lessons. Period. All right, my studio. Time to show you what I've set up here. And hopefully it won't be as boring as your Aunt Mary's 5th wedding reception. So there's a piano. This is the one I learned to play on back in the 1800s. I have another piano for other uses. Also here we have these binders that are full of music that I've arranged or transcribed for my students so that they can work things in different keys. It's nice for a soprano to be able to do some mezzo music now and then. It helps expand their thinking. Also, I have vocal selections from musical theater pieces, some classical and art song anthologies here. These are musical theater anthologies, popular music, opera scores, art song collections, some of my piano music, stereo equipment. I also have, we have to go back here just a little bit, I have Audio Audition on this computer so that I can record parts of the lessons if necessary. Or if students want, they can bring a thumb drive or an SD drive and record their lesson and take the drive home with them if they want to review. My CD collection is massive, and there's more in another room. But it's very good to have good musical reference for your students so that you're not the only one they hear singing. This is more classical transcriptions here and some musical theater scores. I have several bulletin board areas. The thing to put on your bulletin board is your students' accomplishments. Shows they have been in, awards they have received, auditions that may be coming up for colleges or shows to keep them informed, but leave your accomplishments off the bulletin boards. Finally, over here, we have musical theater transcriptions and complete scores, piano conductor scores. Also, I have a set of, I call them mailboxes for my students, so as materials are prepared for them, they go alphabetically in here and they're easy to find, saves time in the lessons. There is a television monitor, and I also have recording equipment, which you can't see right now because the video recorder is playing, or is recording right now at the moment. Sometimes they have to have screenings for college auditions or even show auditions, and it's nice to have the equipment here and be able to play back to check the quality. And of course I have a large mirror and a slightly smaller one. This is useful in several ways. I have two angles to watch a student's reflection to see how they're working. They have a chance if they look in the mirror, to instantly self-monitor themselves. If they don't want to do that, I kind of insist. I also have an office in one of the back rooms where we prepare materials for students. When I say we, I'm including my employees, who I affectionately call gnomes. And there's one now, thank you. They're a group of very talented and well-organized people who help me with the work and keep me from going crazy. Now, while the office is a more personal setup, and we'll explore it in another episode, I do want to mention that you should have good notation software. I use Finale, and an audio editing program such as Adobe Audition. That's it. My setup is fairly elaborate. Yours may not be. Mine's been built over a long time, I think, since back in 1837. What's important is that you arrange whatever space you're using to create a comfortable and safe environment for your students. That leads to student success no matter the size of your studio. Thanks for stopping by. As you may have noticed, I'm trying to do one of these episodes each week, so watch this space. And if you're finding this useful and informative, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.